Welcome back, everyone, to Renowned Explorers International Society. We're going to do another episode, and then I'm going to go to bed, so that I can get at least a little bit of sleep before work tomorrow. So let's not dawdle, shall we? Highlands is pretty good for a friendly team. Also has a lot of campaigns. That's probably the way to go. Beguiler, Diplomat, don't have a Tactician, do not have an Engineer. It's probably still the best choice. Yeah. Yep, almost assuredly. There's a temptation to go to the desert, though. We do not have an archaeologist, we do not have an athlete, we do have a survivalist, but we don't have a rogue, so never mind. Alright. We need to continue working on friendly champion. That is somewhat important. As Rivalo continues to gain random points that we're not gaining. What is the least number of points that anyone's ever held Rivalo to? Like, for a win. I assume it's nigh impossible to hold them to 0 points, right? I assume that's, like, literally impossible, probably. That seems way too difficult to manage. Alright, I'm recording a little late tonight. I got home late from work, so we ate dinner first before I recorded the first episode for earlier, and then I hung out with my wife for a little bit, and then I played some games of League, and those went a little later than usual. That happens. And now I'm here. Now I'm here, and we are going to play some Renowned Explorers. And that guy is immune to all types of friendly. Wow. He can take some impress damage, but geez, he's gonna be hard to take down. We're probably gonna have to resort to either devious or physical against him. Preferably devious, because one physical attack will take us into aggressive, which I would rather not do. Let's see, Hojo, you can make this guy impressed with us. Very nice. And Hildegard cannot finish him off. I don't think Padrino will be able to either. Nope. No matter what we do, pretty much. How do devious attacks do against this guy? Not that great, actually. Alright, well, let's just focus on taking out this one, and leave just the one opponent. Well, Monday is over. Tuesday tomorrow, or Tuesday the day you're watching this, actually, and that's good. That's good. We're moving forward in the week. I'm still getting used to, I just recently started the new job, so I'm still in a way getting used to going to work every day, and not getting nearly as much sleep as I should be, probably. Let's put it that way. I should almost certainly be getting more sleep than I am. I've always been really bad about not staying up really late at night. I like being up late. It's one of those things. I always found that I did my best thinking late at night. And I've never been fond of the mornings. Never, ever. Once I'm up, it's not too bad, but getting up is very hard. But I don't think I am by any means unique in that. All right, I think we're just gonna smack this guy to finish him off. We should still get friendly. We've been in friendly for several turns now. I did not want to use a devious attack there because it possibly would have prevented us from getting emotion spreader, which hopefully we will get. No, we did not. That was our one guy. Okay, I wasn't sure if there would be a possibility for us to get it there. That's alright. We still got our friendly champion, so not a big deal that we used a physical attack there at the end. Let's continue. A old yet strong-looking villager sitting outside a lone house. Train someone's grit or armor. Interesting. We are in the Highlands, so armor's not going to be much use, so we'll just give Padrino a little bit of extra grit. 5 grit. It's not that much, but hey, maybe it'll come in handy. Oh, and an epic encounter. Great. We will go check that out for sure. On the dark side of the hills, you find something eerie in an abandoned manor. Alright. You can see some shimmering items. At first look, it seems a private collection has been left behind here. Let's keep Hojo on guard duty, perhaps. He is a quick thinker. Or perhaps Padrino. How about Padrino? Let's take the items that are the most flashy. And we notice a secret doorway. We'll take a look inside. Bloody knives, backpacks, and compasses are scattered around, but even scarier, there are paintings of renowned explorer members, marked with red crosses and death marks. You feel quite threatened. Understandably so. And we'll try to sneak out before we can be found. Very nice. What a relief, you get away without being noticed. These men will surely notice some items missing and their secret door unlocked, but they won't know who did it. You're safe. The thugs didn't follow you, and you are well hidden. All you know is that you better watch your backs, but Hildegard soothes the crew and explains that whatever you do, there will always be people who are against you, and we all feel a little bit better. A late medieval castle. You've heard rumors of ingenious mechanisms protecting castles and their treasures. Seems like you found such a thing. Let's take a look. The first room is a fantastic dining hall, barely touched. Okay. A throne room. Alright, we'll stare at the throne and then we'll continue. Someone needs to either disable a trap or run through it. Probably run through it. Hojo feels confident about this because he is a level 1 quick thinker, and he also has 100%, so we'll definitely use him. Hojo moves like a bolt. With quick wit and fast feet, Hojo dodges all the incoming arrows and blades, and now that it's sprung, everyone can follow him very safely. And let's see what we find. The treasure chamber. But we are not alone. Whoa, lads, look at that gold. I told you to follow the Great McRae, and apparently they did so. Do we want to agree to split, or do we want to engage them? We're going to engage them. I made this mistake last time. If you agree to split, then you cannot fight them. However, if you try to argue with them, you can still do a kind combat to get a 75-25 split, which is very, very nice, and helps us with that friendly champion that we have been working on. Don't want to pass up opportunities to get more encounters. Alright, they are rather grouped up. I'm going to back up a little bit, buff up my party members here, see if we can get an opportunity for a decent AoE. One of the advantages of having Hildegard's heal herself as well is that she also buff herself whenever she buffs someone with it, which is kind of a waste of that ability, but it can be very, very good if used strategically in small combat scenarios like this one. Unfortunately, that is not a great AoE situation. Not very fond of that. Huh. Well, alright. It's too bad. Really is. But we'll go ahead and do it. Might as well. We weren't going to be able to back up probably very much longer, and we might as well just try to get something done. Wow, look at that damage. Holy. Okay. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll just take him out. I mean, he's by far the most dangerous character here, so if we can take out McRae himself, why ever not? Alright, that just leaves 3 random dudes. Their leader's already been converted to our side. It seems like when they see that, they should also want to be converted to our side, but apparently they're not that loyal to McRae. They're loyal enough when he's like, hey, there's treasure, but as soon as he's being taken out of combat, they're like, maybe not. Maybe we'll just try to fight them anyway. And they did a decent job on Padrino here. Padrino could have gone down if they had focused a tad bit better. I'm not complaining. I'm glad that they did not, but they could have done a good job there on us. I'm going to bring Padrino over here because I'm probably going to end up healing him with Hildegard. Leaving him at that low health is too dangerous considering we couldn't take all 3 members out on this turn. So, even though it does mean he's going to be impressed, he should be just fine with that amount of health. Now, Hojo looks like he's going to be just fine too, even if he takes both attacks. He's not going to. They split up. Alright. Well then, we will just finish everyone off. We just finished today scheduling our first anniversary trip. We're going to for our honeymoon last year, we went on a cruise to the Caribbean, which is the first time either of us had been there. Went down to Mexico, went to some of the ancient Mayan ruins, did a bunch of different things. This year we wanted to go somewhere different, of course, and we didn't really have the money yet to justify going somewhere a little bit more exotic. I have spent a lot of time over in Europe. My wife has not, and she would like to, but we just couldn't justify it this year. So instead, I do like this since we're getting a lot of secrets. So instead, we're gonna do a East Coast cruise, East Coast of America. Not very exotic, obviously, but it should be a lot of fun. My wife has never been anywhere on the East Coast, and she really likes history. She's always really fond of historical stuff, which is one of the reasons we went to the Mayan ruins. And so she's very excited to go to some of the historical things in America. Much newer, obviously, but okay. Hojo is a man of his word and wants to help Hildegard in becoming a better explorer. I know someone who can teach you about wits, weapons expert, electromagnetics, or you can get a secret. Let's teach her weapons expert. I would like a tactician, since we are doing a lot of wits challenges. Hojo shares a passion for fishing with a certain South American president. He still owes Hojo a favor, and this is a good time to call it in. Alright. So what was I saying? So we're gonna do that cruise up the East Coast. And that should be interesting. Whoa, I am Judge Druid. Face me so I can judge your worth. Okay, whatever. The very first cruise I ever went on was to Alaska, and that was quite a nice cruise. So nice that we actually went back several years later and took both my wife and my sister's fiance at the time to as well. So we got to go again, and they got to go for the first time, and that was a nice way to introduce them to cruising. And also to revisit somewhere that we had really liked. And I liked it just as well the second time. Very, very fun cruise. I have done a total of 4 cruises now, I think. The big one was a 3-week cruise to the Mediterranean. We went to 10 different countries, I believe. 12 ports, 10 countries, something like that. So that was a lot of fun and really, really informative. Lots of history there. My wife was quite jealous, but she and I were not together at the time, so she didn't get to go. So she should have found me earlier. There you go. Serves you right. Yeah. But that was a great trip, and I would love to do something similar. If not, I wouldn't really want to do something exactly the same, of course. But I would love to go back to some of those places again and spend a little bit more time there, because the one downside of a cruise is you only get 1 day in most ports, right? And that's enough time to sort of get an idea of what the culture is like, but it's definitely not enough time to really understand a country. And that is unfortunate. Ooh, etiquette course, but she already has diplomat etiquette, right? Yeah, so we're gonna throw that away. Let's take Eye of the Tiger and keep work the wits. Yeah. Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. And we'll take hunting? Okay, let's take hunting. However, cruising is probably the easiest way to get an idea of other cultures, and get an idea mostly of... Ooh, reading this might improve speech. Yeah, we'll go to Pedrino. Most importantly, it gives you an idea of places you might want to revisit, right? This group of sheep keeps taking us to do random things. Without visiting places at least once, it's hard to know what you would enjoy, what you wouldn't. And cruising is a good way to get a little bit of exposure to a bunch of different countries, so you can find out where you might want to revisit, right? It is nice for that. A nobleman. Oh, it seems you're enjoying my estate. You're invited to my manor. I have a problem. I have a date with a lady, but my servants have all betrayed me and left. Now I'm desperate. Yes, very good. The problems I have are my neighbors. Okay, let's go talk to them. Soon enough, you find some Scotsmen who are readying themselves to play some bagpipe music. Hildegard politely explains the situation, but the response surprises you. We're playing these horrible instruments to annoy that bowhide as much as possible. Now, we could settle this diplomatically. But that would not help friendly champions, so we will instead do a combat encounter. Is that a redundant statement, combat encounter? I suppose not. It could be a non-combat encounter. You don't know. You know, some of the famous, some of the very famous redundant statements. Let's put it that way. Some of the very famous redundant statements, things like ATM machine, right? PIN number is a big one. I don't know. What are some other famous redundant statements? Those are the two ones I always think about when someone mentions redundant statements. Most of the time, redundant statements get by because of acronyms or because of what's the term? There's another term that refers to something like an acronym. I do not remember. I can't remember exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure that an acronym actually... Is that how it works? Either an acronym only technically refers to a word that spells something when you take the first letter, or the other word is that. I don't remember. I'm not being very clear. I'll try to figure that out so I can be I can clarify in another video later because I don't remember. I probably should have actually I definitely should have. I should have excited him first. That would have meant taking down all three of those guys in one hit probably. Oh well, not a big deal. I'm slightly distracted by my search for the other word that's kind of like acronym, but not quite. What can I say? Alright, alright. Yeah, what are some other redundant acronyms? I think that's mostly how they get away with it. Redundant statements don't typically exist unless there's some reason that it's confusing that they're redundant. And something like ATM machine or PIN number is a really good example of how someone might not know or not realize or not think about the fact that the word machine or the word number is in the acronym to begin with, right? Okay, the neighbor's convinced not to play the bagpipes and you return to the nobleman. He's happy as well. Very nice. But the manor is a mess and needs some cleaning. No, we're not going to do this. Hojo is dead serious and refuses. But he does want one other thing from us. What is it? I want to impress my date with some beautiful flowers. Sure, Pedrino will go get you some flowers. Pedrino returns with an astonishing bouquet. The nobleman is very pleased. That makes sense because Pedrino is astonishing, isn't he? No, he's not. He doesn't have astonishing. He's gonna have astonishing soon. Oh well, he's practicing. That's what it is. Not only will I pay you well, I will see if I've got some treasure for you. What do we want? A sculpture or a tapestry? Let's take a sculpture. Why not? Okay, let's see what it is. The sterling head. 6 collect or 5 encounter. We'll take the encounter. Very nice. And there's a nobleman's date. But Hildegard takes a moment with the lady and makes it perfectly clear. Don't date that man. Do you ever have it happen for this where you can encourage the lady to date him? Every time I've had this event, we tell her to run away and she does. Also, what happens if Maria's on this event? Does Maria talk to Maria? I don't know. Is there a clone of Maria somewhere? Is that the clone of Maria? Or is Maria a clone? Maybe Maria is the clone of that woman. There you go. Oh, Hildegard actually has 1 level of tactician, so she's tactically prepared for combats now. That's kind of funny. I did not think of that when we gave her that, but hey, that's a nice upside, right? Pedrino has not been nearly as powerful as I typically expect him to be. Usually, he can at least one-shot normal enemies without being buffed up with party time, and he has been having trouble with that, which kind of surprises me. I did not get the efficient there. That would have required hitting all 3. The chances of that happening were practically 0, so I wasn't real worried about it. We're also going to let Mr. and Mrs. Devious go, definitely. We need to be working on those friendly champions. We can't afford to take time off from friendly champion to get Mr. and Mrs. Devious. That would cost us more points in the long run. A very nice damage from Hildegard there, though. That will take care of that. And there we go. One more combat finished. One more friendly champion fight to get those points. We shouldn't have any problem getting that, especially because we have to do one more fight, at least to end the mission. But we might just try to grab it right here. We've got enough supplies, mostly because of the campfire. The campfire card that we chose gave us 3 extra supplies, and that's really helped us. But we also have way more supplies than we normally would at this level because we took the barterer helpers. And we paid for 3 of them right out, so that definitely helped as well. Okay, let's target this guy in the middle, because we can get a party time on the other 3 then. It is nice to have Hildegard or Hojo with you on a friendly team with Padrino, because they can get to the back line with their 2 range friendly attacks, and set him up to teleport into the middle of a group of enemies. Oh, you know who I should have probably taken I didn't even think about? I keep talking about how Min Young is really good in a friendly group, at least it seems like it, but I've never taken her on one. I should have tried that. I didn't even think about it. She would have been an archaeologist, which wouldn't have been, you know, amazingly helpful in this particular run, but she would have also been a diplomat. She could have been a diplomat. We could have replaced Hildegard. But we are using Hildegard's buff, which is giving us that extra research, and I probably wouldn't have been willing to give that up. So maybe it's good that we didn't take her. Oh well. Something to consider, though. I have to keep that in mind. Oh, and another epic encounter. Yeah, we'll check that out. Sure. Ah, a small shrine. Okay, so this shrine, nothing happens here until you have 3 flocks of sheep following you. We already have 1, and these 2 wit challenges might be the other 2. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yes, another flock of sheep. Let's do it. Hojo quickly scouts the field of chaos, and there is a berserking squirrel. Alright, this flock of sheep is following us as well. 1 more to go. Now, if we do this, we will start taking some debuffs, and that is a little bit concerning, but it may be worth it to get this special encounter. Let's see if we can get this last flock of sheep. Yes. A flock of sheep being surrounded by a pack of wolves. We are going to use our tool here, definitely. 57% chance. Let's see if we can do it. This is the difference between getting an epic encounter and not, and we don't. That's very, very unfortunate. All right. Well, so much for that. We don't have to worry about it now. Let's just grab these supplies and get back to the end before we take too many debuffs. And we will grab Diplomatic Negotiations. No, we already have Diplomatic Negotiations, so we might as well take Naturalist Astronomy. Why not? We could go to this trader and swap a Resolve for some supplies, and that may be an intelligent decision. Or we could take a 1 debuff. Let's just take 1 more debuff. I would rather keep my Resolve. We are often raided by bandits and could use some tactical training from experts like yourself. We might even reward you with a treasure. That would be nice. 54% chance? Let's go ahead and try it. We'll lose our supplies, take an additional debuff, but the treasure is very, very good. Here we go. Commander Hildegard, please accept this crown of King Ungus as a token of our military relations. Thank you. Very, very kind. And 5 stats from encounter is really good. That's really, really good. Yeah, we're going to take that. We are out of supplies. Padrino loses attack power. That is the best thing we could possibly lose. I'm very happy with that. The decent herd of sheep that's been following you are making a ruckus. What do they want to show us? An abandoned hut with some coins. Okay. The crew has to explore multiple paths to the rocks. One route seems particularly tough, and exploring it might make someone gain some armor. Sure, why not? Okay, Hojo gets some armor, but it won't last for this expedition. But we also got some supplies, which is nice. And Padrino loses some grit. Alright, we did upgrade his grit slightly, so at least it's not as bad as it could have been. And I'm very, very happy that we didn't lose any speech power on anyone. The Abbey seems well fortified. You're probably not the first one to come looking for this treasure. Padrino even seems to identify some cloth that looks like it belonged to Rivolo. You hear the voice of the Abbess on the other side. Go away. I know what you're after. Let's try to talk our way in. And Padrino, actually, as a beguiler, is going to be much better than Hildegard here. Although Hildegard does have a 93% chance, which is pretty good. With a high-pitched, pity-inducing voice, Hildegard probably could have done the pity-inducing voice without trying. She's a kid. Padrino manages to catch the Abbess off guard. I'll let you in on one condition. Hojo looks way too shady and has to drink this holy water. Okay, that's fine. Welcome to the Abbey. You probably want the mysterious relic we have here, indeed. And we would like the world to be able to see it. The abbess understands but isn't going to give in so easily. That's a noble goal, but this relic belongs in this abbey. We will engage her. Look at our campaign, by the way. 43 campaign tokens. That's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Alright. Man, it is getting warm in this room. Having two computers going constantly does tend to heat up this office quite handily. Quite handily. I do want to buff Padrino, so I think I will... ooh, he can't actually reach that... never mind. I was going to buff Padrino, but he can't reach the nun here. So instead, we will just use Hildegard. And he doesn't have a good option for an AoE, so I'm just going to back up, and we'll go ahead and buff someone. Let's just buff, let's buff Hojo. His secondary attack could do quite a bit to the Abbess, hopefully. And I believe the Abbess is weak to Impressed. I believe I remember that correctly. In which case, both Hojo and Hildegard will have a good time. We're going to take some damage here, but it shouldn't be too bad. We didn't lose any speech defense, I don't believe, from our debuffs. Maybe we lost to maybe we got one debuff on speech defense. We got a debuff on armor. Looks like we got a debuff on speech defense as well. Yeah, but only one, so it's not that bad. Okay, let's see here. Still not a good AoE. How much damage, out of curiosity, does Padrino do here? Pretty decent. She is weak to Excited. She is not weak to Impressed. That's interesting. Okay, I misremembered. We'll just clear out these nuns the normal way, because I don't like the looks of the AoE options here. And we are one-shotting every one of them, so it's not like we're struggling. Now, we probably would not be one-shotting every one of them if it wasn't for the fact that we'd bought in those books. 20% extra damage is probably really helping here. Okay, decent amount of damage. I was a little scared there. The Abbess has managed to do a surprising amount of damage to me in the past, and so I was a little concerned. We're going to heal Padrino. I know, weird. But it's also going to heal Hildegard, and it will buff Padrino at the same time. And as you can see, only healing 50% on Hildegard doesn't actually matter very much, does it? Now remember, getting the priest, or the nun, the abbess excited here, is actually giving her negative speech defense because of the paper we took. So let's see how Confident Attack does here. Pretty good. So does Impressed. I'd rather have her Impressed, just so she takes more damage next turn, and we shouldn't have any problem whatsoever finishing her off. I probably actually could have finished her off this turn if I had just hit her with Hildegard as well, but that would have been a little risky, given how low Hildegard was in health. And I didn't want to risk it. Might as well finish off this this other nun here first. Why not? Show some extra people how lovely we are. See, look how lovely we are. Join our crew. Or, well, don't join them, but stop impeding our crew. And give us lots of money and resources and status and all the sorts of things that you undoubtedly have stored in this abbey. Right? I'm sure you have a treasure vault. Right? Right? Yeah. I mean, you have a treasure, clearly. It must be in a vault. Where else would you keep it? Okay, maybe you're right. This treasure does not belong here any longer. It should be out in the world where everyone can see it. Okay, let's see what we get. The Lewis Chessman, that's a rare one. That one is hard to get. +1 secret spent inside in London is incredible. Wow. That's really good. That's really good. Yeah, we're gonna take that. The Lewis Chessman is the rarest item to get from this campaign. I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten it while recording. I had it before. I've had it in my treasure tracker, but I maybe have only gotten it once or twice at most. It is very hard to get. A Nordic set of chess pieces made of walrus ivory and whale tooth. Extra supplies capacity for completing the expedition, extra insight for the same thing, and 5 encounter, 1 from each level beguiler in our crew. Our status is busy stacking up. Yep, 1500 status, very, very good. We could consider getting the other entourage that takes 1,000 status that gives you a secret after every combat. We are having to do combat because of the friendly champion, so it may be worth it. Rival gets a few extra points from orphanages. We're going to take our challenge here, and we will send a report to probably Constantinople. We probably want the entourage hall, given the amount of status we have. And there is a entourage, or especially entourage, in that entourage shop that I love to grab as soon as possible. Nope, not this one. The Turkish Baths. That's it. And is this one right here. It's just a huge buff to 1 token. And in this case, campaign, 3 to 5 gold from every campaign token is huge. And we're just going to grab it right away. Okay, now what? Diplomat Generous. We do not have that. That would be very, very good. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. Why not? Okay. What else? Archaeology, Symbolism, Tactician, Military History. We could give that to Hildegard if we wanted, but let's consider everything else first. Begather, Beautiful Smile. Yep, Paterno already has that. Survivalist Hunting we just gave to him, so this set we will not use. So let's go ahead and grab Tactician, Military History if she doesn't have it. She does not. Okay. I just wanted to make sure, in case that was the one that she had learned. I couldn't remember. Alright, this shop is now done, the Turkish Baths, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's go ahead and do our research before we do anything else. Grab some extra stuff from Secrets, grab our new shops, which are going to be very important, and we will grab this as soon as we can, as soon as we have enough research. Let's take a look at our new shops. These are the important ones. The Kyoto Elites, right? Yeah, so because we have the entourage that gives you double your base, we get 2 secrets and 5 campaign from this, which is really good. But look what Hojo gets. Hojo has the bonus that he gets an extra study and gold trinket because he is a quick thinker, I believe, but that doubles as well. So he gets slightly less status, you can see, 265 to 400 or 248 to 370. Slightly less status than Hildegard, but he gets way more gold and a little bit more research. So you can argue which one of those is better, right? It is kind of a toss-up, but I do like the gold, and I think we're going to go for Hojo because of that. Alternatively, we could go to Paris. Or is it... No, London. London, here we go. London will now give us a secret. But it's not as good. I was hoping that London was the campaign one. I did not know. So I probably could have chosen a better buff there. It's unfortunate, but I did the best I knew with the knowledge I had. Alright. We have to spend 4 insight here, so let's go ahead and do it. And I'm perfectly okay taking extra gold. I think I want the extra gold, so let's do this. And there is our next research paper already. Let's go ahead and get that while we have the opportunity. And 58% renown from status is very, very nice. Alright, back into here. We still have 3 to spend, including this one, so we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to have plenty of campaign to do absolutely whatever we want. And yeah, we probably could have bought some helper entourages before we did this, but I bought a bunch really, really early. At this point, I'm not that worried about it. We're going to easily outstrip Rivalo when it comes to collecting status. I'm not really concerned, especially given we're still saving 7 insight for next time. Alright, not quite enough to get another paper. We'll worry about that some other time, not a big deal. We could technically start engineering and just grab that tool for next time, which might be nice, and it would only cost me 1 more insight. That actually might be worthwhile. I'll consider that. Yeah, I'll consider that. Let's take a look at our entourages again. Tactician's Weapon Expert, I think that's the one she already has. Yes. Diplomatic Negotiations we already have. Begather Astonishing we do not have. I was going to give that to him, but I could give him Cooking instead. Yeah, we'll consider that. Extra Encounter for Friendly, might as well. We've got plenty. And Diplomatic Languages we already have. Here's Survivalist Cooking we could grab from there as well. Quick Thinker Nimble is not required. We already have it. So, yeah, we really don't need anything from here. Alright, what else? Extra collect for friendly? Sure, why not? Extra campaign for friendly? Sure, why not? And 1 secret whenever you resolve an encounter. In the attitude of choice, we are definitely going to take that now and go to a friendly focus. That will be very, very good. Alright, so that is all of our entourage shops looked through and pretty much decided on. Let's take a look at what we can do with our gold, because we do have quite a bit. That is enough for 1 really good book if we upgrade fully, and maybe have to spend 1 more insight. Yeah, we're a little bit short, actually. We need 1350. We could always go with a treasure here. It actually gives us about the same. You know what? Let's go ahead and spend just a couple more. Yeah, maybe 2 more insight. Not only will that give us enough research to unlock one more paper, and we will take engineering for that tool, and later for perhaps the secret shop, which might come into handy. But we might be able to sell the book that Padrino has. Not quite. That'll only put us at 1326, and we need 1350. But we can't really. Yeah, even if we sold all of these defensive items, which aren't worth much, that would only be 21 extra gold, and that would only take us to 1247. Yes, 1247. So we do have to spend 1 more insight. I would prefer to have not had to do that, but that's the way it goes. It's alright. I do want the book now. I think waiting is being a little bit too greedy, and having that very, very good book on Padrino is going to, hopefully, make the next expedition much, much easier. So, we will grab that. The point here is not to get the Hearten Plus, increase the power of Excite and try to Excite. That's not what we're getting this book. We're getting it for the 30 speech power, because his AoE will be very, very powerful now. Okay, there we go. And we still have 1,140 campaign to use on something. So we might as well, right? Let's take a look at our entourage shops here again. What did we skip? Nothing here. We've bought everything in the first shop. We have skipped only the... Well, actually nothing in the second shop either. All right. How about the third shop? We have only skipped the end here. Survivalist hunting. We already have survivalist hunting. We already have Beguiler Beautiful Smile. The only thing left is engineer piloting, and we really don't care about that. And that leaves our very, very last shop, where we do have several things we could get. None of them were just very impressive. Beguiler Astonishing, we could give that to him. It's either that or cooking, because they sort of cancel each other out, right? Whichever one we care more about. And I think the answer is neither, really. We don't really care. They both buff study. Doesn't matter. We'll take this one because it gives us extra status. I mean, why not? And Padrino will learn. You know what? Alternatively, we could give this to someone else. Why don't we give Hildegard Beguiler Astonishing? That does help our item. It gives us extra campaign or per level of Beguiler. And we'll just have Padrino learn Beguiler Astonishing on his own. Right? Why not? And that leaves Diplomat Languages, which Hildegard already has. Rogue, which isn't that exciting. We'll give Padrino Survivalist Cooking so that he can take Beguiler Astonishing without feeling like he's missing out on anything. No problem. Alright, yep, level 5 Survivalist. He'll be a level 4 Beguiler. We've got a level 6 Quick Thinker. And we've got Hildegard, who is sort of a jack of all trades at the moment. Level 5 Diplomat, level 2 Tactician, level 2 Naturalist, and level 2 Beguiler. Now, with our remaining campaign, we might as well buy another helper. I know it would have been much more efficient to buy this first. Oh, you know what? Our other barterer. Forgot about that. That's perfect. We have just enough for that. There we go. There's our last campaign spent on the barterer. Excellent. That was really good. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I would love it if you would put a like on the video. That would really help me out. Subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. And I will see you next time in either Darkest Dungeon or Renowned Explorers, or maybe even Fortnite if you are waiting for that video to come out. Thank you again for watching. Goodbye.